So the challenge here is to learn about the remainder theorem, and hopefully you already know how to do long division of polynomials. All right, so if this polynomial here is going to be divided, 5x squared minus 13x plus 6, divided by something here, hopefully you know already that if they say x equals 2 is a root, then the factor for that would be x minus 2. All right? Then I can do long division on this. But this is the important part here. What the remainder theorem tells us is that if you put in that x equals 2 into this function right here, that 2 going in there will tell you whether or not it's a root by its remainder. All right, so what I'm going to do is put the 2 in here and just see what I get. All right, so I have 5 times 2 squared, which is 4, and then 5 times 4 will be 20, minus, and this 13 times 2, 26, plus 6. Pretty quickly I get that that's negative 6 plus 6, and it equals 0. When I stuck 2 in my equation, I had an answer of 0. That means the remainder is 0. What does that mean? That means that it works. The polynomial remainder theorem will tell you whether or not a root will work by you just sticking that into the equation and seeing if it will equal 0. And that has to do with the x-intercepts of the graph, which makes sense if you understand it. All right, so I'm going to prove by using polynomial long division that this actually works. So I'm going to see what should I put here, 5x, so that when I multiply it by this, I'll have 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times the negative 2 makes negative 10x. I draw a line, make it opposite and opposite, and then I get negative 3x, bring down the plus 6. And then I'm going to say what goes up here, negative 3, because negative 3 times the x will make negative 3x. And the negative 3 times the negative 2 will make positive 6. Draw the line, opposite, opposite. And I have a 0 at the end, which means I have remainder 0. So I have just proven the polynomial remainder theorem, which is that if you have something that's a root, and you stick it into your function, that you will have a 0 remainder. If there is a remainder, then that means it wasn't a root. So again, this one it worked because I had a remainder of 0, and there are my factors. X minus 2 and 5x minus 3, when multiplied out, would give you that. All right, that's a summary of that.